Fundraising sucks. Painful, distracting, time-consuming, and you've got a freaking startup to run. So why raise $500,000 when you can raise $2 million? Raise once and you won't have to raise again, obviously, am I right? Find out in my ongoing series. Please don't do that. Do this instead. And like the best mistakes, this one is so common because it seems so obviously right. If investors will give you more, why wouldn't you take more? So you convince yourself that the bigger raise buys you freedom. No distracting fundraise in 18 months, no pressure, just build and sell. And so your runway becomes a feature in your pitch. This gets us 3 years. This round is hard as fudge to close, but let's say you manage to get it done. Everyone celebrates. And the catch is what happens next. Because that bigger number comes with bigger expectations for your next milestone. Investors sized their check to the story you told, and the story you told was, let's say, ambitious. And now you're stuck trying to fill an inside straight instead of making smart bets. And it gets worse because the more capital means bigger company, and bigger company means more momentum. And momentum is great right up until the inevitable point where reality diverges from expectations and you're suddenly trying to steer the Titanic away from an iceberg. In other words, you sacrifice the single biggest advantage a startup has, agility. And the cruel irony is that when you miss the milestone you set, now you're back to raising anyway, but from a weaker position with less equity and investors who remember what you said you'd do and never did. And that's a recipe for a down round. So right size your raise not to the length of the runway you want, but to the next milestone you need to hit. What specific measurable proof point do you need, and what is that going to cost? Raise that, hit it, and then raise from a position of strength. Remember, your next raise is not a punishment to avoid. It's a reward for good execution. And follow along for more startup science.